As many know by now, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon has this uncanny way to sync up in an inordinate amount of ways with The Wizard of Oz. So for today's meta peek, I wanted to go over some of the synced up portions as well as how did this manage to happen. This is a movie made in 1939 and Dark Side of the Moon being made in 1973. So there is the possibility that Pink Floyd may have had something to do with it. It's been said by the band though that it's not intentional.
The synchronization with The Wizard of Oz
is bullshit.
Is it bullshit?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it may not be. It may be that
seems
if
like
you
the
do what
universe
they
aligned those
say,
two.
it may be if you do what they say, but it has nothing to do with us,
Okay.
any of us. Nothing to do with anyone in Pink Floyd or anyone who wrote or recorded any of the music. It's something that somebody thinks. So it's a coincidence of some time, and maybe it's cosmic coincidence.
Well, it may not have been intentional, but what if it was done on a subconscious level perhaps? I'm sure they've seen the film as it was a classic even back then, and became more of a staple as time went on. It's not just the syncing of the two mediums. It was also the fact you needed to be really, really high in the process. That was how it was discovered, and that's going to be the way to watch it. So get your blunt and bongs ready, grab a seat, spark it up, and get it going the right way. So right when the lion roars for the third time, you start the album. Make sure you have the album on repeat so it can start right back up again when it finishes to keep the sync going. This is how you start your journey down the dark side of Oz. To start, I will lay out a bunch of the obvious synchronizations. There's quite a lot of them I managed to find. Right at the moment Dorothy falls into the pig pen, it pops into On the Run. And I don't think the sound syncing up to the visual is all that there is. Just think about it for a minute. The name of the song is On the Run. As Dorothy hit her head here, and at this moment, her journey has now begun.
Get me out of here!
But even as that song ends, the tornado is coming, and Dorothy has to run off back home before she gets caught up. For a chaotic scene, the music at the start is rather mellow here. The music heats up as the tornado gets more destructive to a cool down right when Dorothy is knocked unconscious. As she leaves the house, and maybe this one was just my viewing, but the first ka-ching in money was right at the opening of the door. Seeing the movie turn into color right at that moment was when my mind was blown. I was pretty much a believer then of the synchronization right then and there. Mind you, I didn't think when the album restarts it would keep going, and I was sorta right. It doesn't go as hard as the beginning parts, but there are still a few memorable points. Not even that, but somehow the song names and lyrics can match moments even 80 minutes into the flick. There are a bunch of small shots and motions that sync up during Money, but you have to actually watch it to really know. Being high though just heightens the experience like it does for most.
That dog is flying!
Now, as Money ends, it moves into Us and Them. There's a great sync up right when the ballerinas show up along with the Munchkins. But it's not just the sync ups here either, but the song itself is about fighting, war, and the like. Dorothy must also face off against the Wicked Witch of the East as she comes right when it's being sung. She leaves as soon as the singing finishes too. As we get to the end of the song, Dorothy is leaving the village, heading out into the great unknown to fight this war. With a brighter outlook for her, she can have any color she likes. Bad puns aside, besides the transition of the scene matching the transition of the song there, as parts of the song changes its tempo or rhythm, watch Dorothy's actions the most during these scenes. As I watched this the first time, I thought, wait, this isn't syncing up to the scene transitions and actions being made by characters only, but that it's also following Dorothy's emotions. Her actions sync up more prominently more than any other, her emotions almost guiding the music forward and progressing it. One part here though with the Scarecrow is that brain damage plays during his bit, but I think the brain damage song is actually meant to mean for Dorothy. She is the one hallucinating all this, and she was the one to hit her head. As we finish off the album for the first time though, it transitions into the Tin Man scene. Make sure you are vigilant here in resetting the album, unless you got it on auto, then you're good to go. Now, I wouldn't say this part has a lot of synchronizations, but it's a nice song with the Tin Man's jig. It's when it changes to the next song we get it matching up with the arrival of the witch again. The music ramps up as the stakes have been raised. As the movie moves into the Cowardly Lion introduction, we get time starting to play. Besides a few actions matching up to some sounds and changes, there isn't anything spectacular to really say. Maybe one note is whereas the singing begins, Dorothy is ready to bring the line along her journey with her. At this point, we're halfway through the movie and the best syncs are behind us. Also, depending on how high you are, you may also be getting sleepy with Dorothy here in the flower field. I guess you can call that a sync up of sorts too? Hey, at least the song ends right when the good witch comes to chuck some white powdery fake snow that should never be eaten. What's interesting is that there is a pause in the songs as they travel in the carriage to the salon. Money starts up again and gets going nicely as they admire the Emerald City, and the line gets going about being a king. The song fades out of Money into Us and Them again right when Dorothy plops her tookish down and we go into the wizard main chamber, as well as the song getting serious right at the moment of turmoil during the negotiations. Whoo, blast that fire. I did like at this point the saxophone comes in right as they enter the haunted forest. It's a nice touch with the intensity going up seeing the witch's owls. See, there isn't much to actually say on the sync-ups and fitting moments. The end has some nice points, but nothing like the start. It's fairly nice to listen and watch to for the remainder of the venture though. As the movie ends, it's finished off with Time and Great Gig in the Sky. Time is there for Dorothy waking up as it just took time for her to do so after knocking her noggin around in that pig pen. The Great Gig in the Sky is for her belief that it was real and she went on this grand adventure finding friends, defeating a foe, and having a happily ever after. Cringe aside, this movie and album are a testament to the way the universe is able to synchronize itself in some of the most unorthodox ways. It makes you think what other movies and albums are also possible of this, if any. Others have tried, even I've tried at times too, but nothing to the success of this. Perhaps one day a new one will spring forth, more than likely by coincidence or accident. For now, we have this, and it's a unique experience that, if you're interested, you should attempt once. Have you actually tried to do this? At what point did you realize, yeah, this comes out better than I thought it would, or do you not think it's syncing up at all? Comment below and also let me know what parts you found to be the best. Hit the like and subscribe button, give a nice little share too. Till next time folks, Taco out.